The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and thanks for joining us. This is TV1 News. I'm Mary Silla.
Good evening, I'm Terry. Join me for all the sports later on in the bulletin.
In this edition, PNGDF not part of government's new care policy, Unitech engineering courses accredited to Australian standards, IRC to partner with ICCC to roll out government policy.
The PNG Defence Force is actively in talks with insurance providers for members of the force and their dependents. However, Chief of Defence Commodore Philip Polawar revealed that the nature of military work is not attractive for insurance providers. Compelled by rumors of industrial action circulated on social media regarding the Public Service Nuclear Association recently, Commodore Philip Polawara addressed members of the PNG Defence Force to clarify that the force is not captured under the Public Service Nuclear Association, encouraging that all personnel are to refrain from taking part in any industrial action that may be initiated by the members of the public service or their workers' union. He said the new care policy does not cover the PNGDF and does not benefit its members. PNGDF is a separate state service established under the Constitution. PNGDF's normal process to care for and compensate members who are injured or killed in action is still in place and operational. However, with the changes in the business environment, the PNGDF is in talks with reputable insurance providers for medical cover, including physical and psychological help for the members and their dependents. The Commodore stated further that the nature of military work is such that it is not an attractive market for health insurance providers because risks are especially high during wartime when injury and death surge. Nonetheless, Polawara says men and women of the force continue to put their lives on the line in their service to the state and communities during their everyday operations, and so the HQ PNGDF is committed to negotiate better life cover options. All 5 engineering courses at the Papua New Guinea University of Technology have been granted full accreditation by Engineers Australia as of 18 December 2024. Engineering graduates from Lays Unitech will now be on par with graduates from countries such as the US, UK, Canada and Australia.
Under the prestigious Washington Accord, all 5 engineering courses at the University of Papua New Guinea Technology have been granted full accreditation by Engineers Australia as of 18 December 2024. This was conducted following a comprehensive review in September. The accredited engineering programs include Bachelor of Civil Engineering Honours, Bachelor of Electrical Engineering Honours, Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering Honours, Bachelor of Mining Engineering Honours, and Bachelor of Mineral Processing Engineering Honours. The full accreditation granted is for a term of 5 years. In celebrating this, Vice Chancellor Professor Ora Renagi said this initiative is a significant milestone for PNG University of Technology, allowing these engineering graduates to gain enhanced postgraduate and employability mobility, enabling them to work globally without additional qualification assessments. Furthermore, it provides free graduate membership and a streamlined pathway to gain full membership, leading to international recognition as professional engineers. He said this remarkable accomplishment is a testament to the dedication and hard work of the entire university community, including the esteemed faculties and students. As part of the Washington Accord, these engineering degrees are now recognized in countries such as USA, UK, Canada, Australia, and other member countries, opening doors to advanced education and international career opportunities. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
The National St. John Ambulance Community First Aid Team conducted an awareness program at Daugo Primary School on Fisherman Island on October 9th last year to enhance community safety. Engaging over 120 students, the program taught essential first aid skills and emergency response techniques. This knowledge is crucial as the island lacks reliable medical facilities despite being a short boat ride from Port Moresby. Zoe Saulep expressed gratitude for the community's eagerness to learn and acknowledge the support from local authorities, including the Water Police. Former Principal Nau Gahusi, in an interview with this newsroom, highlighted the program's importance with areas limited access to medical care, saying that this initiative aims to equip more communities in Central Province with essential first aid training, fostering preparedness and safety.
Anything that arises on the way. And they really loved it. I'm sure they enjoyed it. By observing what they were doing, they enjoyed the session there. It was from the elementary to up to grade 8. And the community were also asking what was happening because of the practicals they were doing. And they were very happy because all these things were not coming to the island. And they have the privilege that time to encounter some of the practicals that they don't know, especially on basing on the accidents, emergencies. You know, it could help them as they are going along in the school setting.
For years, retirees have voiced their frustration about the taxation of their hard-earned superannuation entitlements. Their cries have now been answered, with the government acting decisively to introduce reform to address their plight. Under the new reform, individuals who have dedicated 15 years or more to service will now enjoy full exemption from tax on their superannuation withdrawals.
Retirees who worked for more than 15 years will no longer be taxed on their superannuation funds going forward. Commissioner General for International Revenue Commission Sam Koim, in a statement, clarified that this landmark decision by the government provides retirees with greater financial security, ensuring that their years of service are honored with dignity and respect. It allows retirees to retain the entirety of their savings, enabling them to live comfortably and meet their needs without unnecessary financial strain. In another major step forward, Koim also announced that IRC have introduced relief measures for retirement savings accounts. He said under their new provisions, only the interest earned on these accounts will be taxed, while the principal amount remains entirely untaxed. This move, Koim stressed, that is a powerful incentive for long-term savings, allowing account holders to maximize their retirement benefits. He further clarified that it reflects the government's commitment to fostering a savings culture that empowers individuals to plan for their future with confidence and certainty. Freddie Mo, TV1 News.
The picturesque island of Lavongai in New Ireland Province was a battleground for 8 months. From January to August 2024, hundreds of youth and men clashed with each other in North Lavongai, killing one from each side, injuring countless more, and burning down the homes of innocent villagers. Families were forced to flee their homes. Women and children hid in mangrove swamps for hours every day, while the 2024 academic year was suspended for the rest of the year. In January 2024, a domestic disagreement between a couple in Ward 6 of North Lavongai in New Ireland Province escalated into 8 long months of fighting. Patipai community leader and a member of the Peace Committee, Leslie William, said the dispute was between a woman from Tikasia village and her partner from Vaisavambam. The woman's relatives got involved and chased away her partner, resulting in retaliation from the Vaisavambam men who burnt down a house.
All house been fire. We got two Plamanidai, one from each party. We been got every ocean. All families all been run away. All stuck inside long bush. All marry one tamol pikinini. Even all mantu. Sampai all every ocean schools kami pa mi suspend. Kita naman conducting classes.
Villagers had to make the 2-hour dinghy ride to mainland Kavieng to plead for assistance as all the telecommunication towers on the island had been destroyed following royalty disagreements in 2010. Unfortunately, the Royal PNG Constabulary nor the Lavongai Rural LLG were willing to assist.
Side of police presence on island, even long provincial gata, mi tambok to. Long time, maybe even start, mi plan sa travel, along police headquarters do mi bla, but the reply mi bla sa kisin, mo sa police post to, and inogatin na manpower, na to also got inogat resource, inogat fuel, long kam taray LP mi bla. Communities, mi bla raising sampai local funds. Mi pay ti donating na mi play din inaplong ko karon na triple policeman hinitlong leadership long nila mi play din naplong kam na tokto kwante mo commandas long triple patis na libin alright lo mi play long ba mi play mas gat peace treaty mas kamap na mi triple patis.
Fighting had initially started in Ward 6 but soon spread to Ward 3. Specifically the villages of Meteai, Polulu, and Atnar. Fighting had spread to the areas where it was believed that their youths had taken sides. The result was devastating for many families living there, like Tilin Mailik, Darius, a mother of 4 children, 3 of whom are young women. Tilin Mailik, or Tiling, fled into the hinterlands of Patipai with her husband and 4 children, with nothing but a few possessions that they had hastily grabbed. Whilst in the bush, the family survived on sago and wild fence as their gardens had also been destroyed and they could not risk being seen fishing. The family now refuses to leave their new home that they're still building, saying it is better to separate themselves from the community in case another problem is brought to their doorstep. The children have been unable to fully complete their education, with their 3rd eldest daughter, Makantilin Grangai, repeating grade 7 3 times in a row, and she is already 20 years old. Families in Lavongai hope that the academic year will resume this year and their children can repeat their respective levels of education again. Maricela Kelleton, TV1 News. The Internal Revenue Commission will implement robust administrative measures and collaborate closely with the Independent Consumer and Competition Commission to ensure the successful implementation of the government's No GST initiative implementation. This measure, set to be implemented in the second half of the year, is designed to directly lower the cost of critical household items.
In response to rising inflation and its impact on households, the government took a decisive action to ease the cost of living by zero-rating goods and services tax, or GST, on 13 essential items. These included staples like rice, canned fish, cooking oil, and soap, basic necessities for families across the country. The Internal Revenue Commission has now partnered with the Independent Consumer and Competition Commission, or ICCC, to monitor compliance to guarantee that businesses pass on the tax savings to consumers, preventing any misuse of the intervention. Commissioner General of IRC Sem Koim says while this reform will cost the government an estimated 272 million kina annually in foregone revenues, it represents a vital investment in the welfare of Papua New Guineans. He explained that by alleviating the financial strain on households, the government reaffirms its commitment to fostering economic resilience and protecting the well-being of its people. This is not just a tax measure, it is a critical intervention aimed at ensuring that every Papua New Guinean has access to affordable essentials in challenging economic times. Freddie Mo, TV1 News.
This is TV1 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
The Toyota JD Hi-Ace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hi-Ace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hi-Ace bus and experience the Hi-Ace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 28 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
There's a lot I can't reveal yet, but here's one thing I can. You can't go it alone. You need to put together a team.
My Grandpa Max disappeared looking into this big alien conspiracy that's going on against Earth.
The knowledge to defeat them, Tennyson. Tell me.
We're trying to find him so we can stop it.
You're all under arrest for impersonating officers of the law.
Catch Ben 10 Alien Force every Monday to Friday at 3:45 p.m. on HBO Family.
Welcome back. The tirade between the political head of Madang province and the administrative head continues as the province moves into a new year. Madang Governor Ramsey Pariwa has again called on the provincial administrator, Frank Lau, to release funding for certain programs and projects which have been on hold for many years. On the other hand, Lau denies claims of him withholding funds and instead calls on the governor to carry out his mandated responsibilities and not to use him as a scapegoat.
The call by the governor has been done during the CBD Wex Road upgrade launch, the COCO program launch, and recently at the Provincial Stakeholders Retreat Forum last week at the Madang Resort.
Madang Sablo, tutak long the time. Plani court na, plani gaman passing. Courtroom politics surrounding Madang for almost 20 years now. You must assume this la. You must assume that canal. Services you come up. So Mr. Naploya, Mila Togolsam, he got money, we put him. He got a walk floor, women room, road he got long, Puata to Simbai and stuff. Me asking provincial administrator, release him, just all money come. What problem, money must become.
Governor Pariwa openly stated that the blockade of funding from the administrator has left the province crippled from furthering any infrastructural and project development.
Me put him low budget, me pass him as a politician, work for me, and triple work that's all. Work for me, pass him decision, policy decision, plan decision, or budget. The funding is the plan, the policy. Money me black him down, me don't pass him budget, nothing. Provincial administrator want to more the hard-working administration. Release him money, blow people, blow Madang, now all looking kind service what's up. Release him money. Release him money. Now work back up. Me cut him money, put him plan, put him policy, na me make him work, na me told him handle short na mister. Release him money come, na me make him work.
However, Mr. Lau states that he has not been withholding any money or funding for certain projects and asked the governor to differentiate between political projects and national projects, which are captured by the national agencies.
His project money, his PSIB project funds are with it. There's nothing stopping him from running his project fund. He can run that. If you're talking about projects that come from Wagani, PIB projects, those projects we report back to the national agencies. They are not reported to the political heads. So those projects, they are administrative projects. Where they are political projects, the politicians, they are controlled over it as part of their political funding. So if they need assistance for us to run there, which we have always extended our assistance, just we'll run them for them. But they have to want to be assisted. We cannot force ourselves to assist. They have to allow us to assist them. And if they cannot allow us to assist them, we cannot forcefully go in and...
Lau said to date, there are no approved project claims from the Joint Provincial Budget Planning and Priority Committee to his office for funds to be released.
The PSIP money is 2-3 years now sitting there. Out of the PSIP, we are paying school fee. What about the other PSIP areas, DSIP? The old members are, with no problem, they're using their project funds, their political project funds.
In spite of their court circumstances, Mr. Lau urges the governor to be the mandated leader that the people of Madang have elected for the day and continue performing his duties. He would like to see the blame game end and for them to start working together for much needed development in the province. Susan Oreape, TVWAN News.
With so much negativity propagated towards the Madang provincial government and its administration, finally, a positive step has been taken towards resolving issues and moving forward for the year. The provincial finance manager, George Memke, has boldly stepped forward to apologize and reconcile with provincial administrator Frank Lau at the Madang Provincial Administration building yesterday.
A breakthrough was achieved as George Memke made amends with Frank Lau the Melanesian way in front of administration staff and the public, putting behind events and ill feelings of the past. He was very apologetic towards Mr. Lau and is relieved that they have now ironed out this issue.
3rd of January 2025, when launching Provincial Town Roads, invitation mixin amigo sana na ko sa Provincial Procurement Committee, binogin sana ko sa representative mulog sa lokal. On the talk ikama pinis, mi mali mi sa asu wala talk ka. Suppose a mistake na mi igo wrong binogat intention lo para
On that same note, the administrator accepted the gifts and apology from Mr. Memke and stated that this was a good start and it will now pave the way for a better working relationship and would enable collaboration in moving money where development is needed.
So I always say, especially once upon a time I was also a finance officer myself, and for you to come up like this, it shows that what kind of leader you are. So PFM, we love you and your team. We want to work with you. And you showed us the leadership and the way forward. We will now take your lead because you two lead our province, you are from here too. And this, you have shown that you want the province to move. It's like, just good like yesterday, you're going to plan it to us. We're not expecting you come Muslim. You give me we very improve. You want me, me accepting with a grateful heart.
Deputy Administrator Corporate Affairs Dick Moiga congratulated both leaders for making amends and now encouraged all staff from both ends to follow suit and forget whatever differences they have amongst themselves as well.
And because from Bello you meet 1-1. Isutin Bello to Bello Colodes la Pasin to Plasana. We know only make him. You meet on Marble Line, you miss a make him. The lot of talk now and Kalare Blogan and finish now. The la Pasin now and put him stop. Over the Pasin, you meet Karimikam and finish now. You play here in January. One bell and stop now. So by you move forward, also one administration. You will get a saving one province and Madang province.
Rudolph Arik, on behalf of the PMIZ project landowners and the people of Madang, called on the governor to be their leader and set things straight with his counterparts who have taken the first step towards building a new pathway for Madang.
Now we can only stop now. Plan the every stop now. Facing stop. You facing two stop. Plan the stop now. So we just know about it. Why something no go? And we can start also people go to learn. Also people public servants people stop there. People to feelings like too. So me looking like guest star or like move was I'm showing through leadership. I'm showing through maturity. I'm showing through some people like a plan. We can go plan.
Carol Kidu Jr., TV1 News.
Port Moresby residents travelling in and out of the Barocco area are thankful for the city wardens as they are now feeling safe to move freely without fear of being intimidated.
Known to be a petty crime hotspot in the nation's capital, Barocco is synonymous with pickpocketing, stealing, hold-ups and even killing. However, is slowly changing following the introduction of the City Warden Initiative, where wardens provide security to the traveling public. In acknowledging the efforts these wardens put daily to help police mitigate crime, residents are thankful for this initiative as they now feel safe and secure when traveling in and out of Barocco area.
My father, I'm below in front and I'm walking, holding my kids and true. Now me walk kami na only man blow, all bikini blow me na walk about. Actually, I came with 4 of my kids, but 2 of them I left them in there and then I came this way. So misa kamusta misa only man blow na walk about. Now morning me play some bus come down here. Like I feel free. Me no only man blow na me play walk about kamusta man. I'm always putting my balloon in front. Now I'm like putting my balloon like this and now we're walking here. Yeah. And I feel safe.
This wonderful initiative that now the public is feeling safe, I know. And as for me, I feel also I am safe. Yeah. I'm just referring back this from the past years when this initiative was not in place. We were all over the place. And even the public wouldn't feel that much safe. And I would say thank you very much that our boys here now doing a wonderful job.
For our boys here working on the street and helping the people, the crowd. There's government destinations for other jobs that other employees to come in, and those more of the school leavers who are on the roads calling the name of the country. So this is what is happening from our voice here, the initiative they're coming through. We need more of this kind of people to come and join, and the government must understand what these people are doing for the public, for the community, for the people of the rural areas in the province, in the district, in Papua New Guinea.
The residents are hopeful that this initiative is expanded to other provinces given the positive outcome of the initiative since its inception in November 2024. Team leader for Barocco Wardens, Agia Stevens, said they help the police apprehend suspects, making sure that buses follow the right route and ensure women and girls are protected on a daily basis. Stephen thanked the NCD governor for this initiative as it not only allows them to contribute meaningfully to the country, but it serves as a medium for them to learn and grow in the law and order sector. Sipa, TV1 News.
The positive work of the city wardens also drew accolades from the PMV bus drivers and their crew members. It has been a challenging task every day for the bus drivers as they compete against each other to get the best parking spot at every bus stop in order to get more passengers. However, they are no longer faced this challenging following the launch of the Warden initiative because the wardens coordinate the movement of the buses, making it easier for them to collect passengers.
Only ras to mas na you only know stop good na only know been kisiman good na putting more traffic jam na lunch or something all make them bad now all mangi all NCTC boys you staff and them na bisa bus of me or ligli
so but gordons na all nar area to him past them dangerous but now more right ligli kipla make a big la walk fight them all line na all steel man all only mall na clean area na staga ne to thank you past them kipla round lo bus na look him plant ya me plaza samla time la to se porad lo concert na simol man as la kan but now me pla feel more right ligli bus line am sta more right ligli past them big la long la traffic jam sa go outside no wow dogora damlo bad na more right ligli all control mo go da bus put him in area we oba simol line online ba am kala good na ogam lam so me to thank you lo good la work people making him wa initiative governor I take him na.
The Papua New Guinea Tourism Promotion Authority continues to support tourism activities around the country. TPA made a significant contribution to the third Jimmy Marita Festival held at Kara Primary School in Jiwaka Province recently. This festival, which took place on January 16, was aimed at highlighting both the region's rich cultural identity and the traditional superfood, pandanus, known locally as Marita.
The Papua New Guinea Tourism Promotion Authority, or TPA, pledged 10,000 kina to support the third Jimmy Marita Festival at Kara Primary School in Jiwaka Province. The festival, which took place on January 16th, celebrated the region's cultural identity and the traditional superfood Pandanus conoideus, commonly known as Marita. During the event, research scientist Jonna Anton from the National Agriculture Research Institute highlighted Marita's nutritional benefits, including carotene for eye health, tocopherol as an antioxidant, and essential fatty acids for heart and brain health. Anton emphasized the importance of preserving Marita, a food source that is declining in popularity. Festival Chairman Gabi Apainga expressed gratitude for TPA's sponsorship, noting its significance in promoting Marita's cultural importance. Jiwaka Provincial Administrator Rick Cogan praised the organizing committee for their efforts in making the event successful. Local entrepreneurs John and Lauren Kisan showcased their Marita-based products, presenting affordable options to the community amid rising costs of imported goods. The event also featured a ribbon-cutting ceremony marking the continued partnership between TPA and the Jimmy District Development Authority, ensuring ongoing support for the festival. TPA CEO Eric Mossman Uvovo commended the organizers for their hard work, stating that the festival plays a vital role in celebrating and preserving Papua New Guinea's unique cultural heritage. Carol Kidu Jr., TV1 News.
And now to the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2494 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2419, $0.3836 Australian dollars, $0.2250 euro, and 37.37 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, copper closed higher, cocoa and crude oil closed lower, and the others closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed unchanged, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. You're watching TV1 News. We'll have news from overseas after these short messages. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 28 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
What would you say to 6 months free bonus credit? Wowee! That's right! Get the Wowee 4G LTE smartphone from Digicel and you'll enjoy 35 kina bonus credit every month for 6 months, plus a whopping 50 gigs of data and 60 minutes free talk for 7 days. Hurry! Get your Wowee 4G LTE smartphone for only 199 kina at a Digicel store or agent today and say Wowee to a total of 210 kina free credit. Only with Digicel.
Wow. Tucked into our Asian takeout special.
What's up?
We got one chow yun fat with our young Wahlberg. Free police! And then...
Good morning, Charlie.
2 type rules sandwich.
Yummy.
Kung Fu style.
Perfect.
And then Jet Li wrap with DMXO sauce.
Why? Some type of Kung Fu James Bond?
Wow. It's so full of flavor. Asian takeout. Sundays at 9 on Warner TV.
We're in a fairly dangerous place. We're gonna stick out so bad.
Piratas. It doesn't look real.
They produce more plastic gold than the entire Yukon.
We are not welcome.
There's a lot there that can kill you.
Gold Rush Parker's Trail, Thursdays 8:30, part of the Summer of Gold.
10 years ago, we never would have anticipated going underground in the money pit.
What we're seeing is high-density anomaly below the surface of the money pit. I want to know what this thing is.
We're closer than we have ever been. We need to get to the bottom of the garden shaft. Could be the offset chamber that we seek.
The Curse of Oak Island. Only on the History Channel.
Thanks for staying with us. Donald Trump has just signed his first lot of executive orders during his second term as President of the United States. Executive orders are essentially statements about how the President wants the federal government to be managed, which can mean instructions to federal agencies or requests for reports. Here are some of the key things he signed. Withdrew the U.S. from the Paris Climate Agreement, which is an international treaty which legally binds its signatories to fight climate change. Pardoned those convicted over the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. Actioned the process to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Withdrew the U.S. from the World Health Organization, declared a national emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border, and ended automatic citizenship for anyone born in the U.S., among others. In one of his first acts since taking the oath of office, Donald Trump pardoned around 1,500 people who stormed the Capitol on January 6, 4 years ago. ABC's North America correspondent Jade McMillan reports from outside the Washington jail, where many of those pardoned over the January 6 riots are imprisoned.
This is a prison in Washington, D.C., where some of the people who'd been convicted over the January 6 attack on the US Capitol are being held. It's a spot where supporters of those people regularly come to protest against their incarceration. And tonight they are here celebrating Donald Trump's decision to pardon, to issue around 1,500 pardons, nearly everyone who was convicted over that incident just over 4 years ago. There were 14 people whose sentences were commuted, so they will be released from custody. But the President said that their cases were still being looked into. They involve some of the most serious accusations, and a decision would be made further down the track as to whether or not they would be pardoned as well. So a crowd of people here, as I said, celebrating Donald Trump's decision, one of the first that he took, one of the first executive orders that he signed once he got to the White House. People here now calling on the prison authorities to move quickly to process paperwork and to see these people released from custody.
Right now, we're a little confused right now because the CJO won't let our prisoners out, and they need to be freed. President Trump pardoned them; they need to be out, and they're holding them against their will right now.
I was very happy. I was excited. I mean, he's been talking about it on the campaign trail, in interviews and things like that. But today, he kept his promise and he signed the pardons.
Now, this is one of the most controversial decisions that Donald Trump has made on his first day back in the White House. He had flagged on the campaign trail that he would be looking at this issue, that he would be looking to issue pardons for the people that he has called the January 6th hostages. Certainly there was some speculation that he might take a more narrow approach and only pardon some of those that were accused of more minor offences. The former House Speaker, Democratic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, has described this decision as shameful. She says it's a betrayal of the police officers who defended the Capitol that day.
Canberra's CBD is set to creep closer to Lake Burley Griffin with the sale of a key block of land near City Hill. More apartments, a new hotel and parkland will be part of the transformation of the area that's currently a work site for the light rail expansion.
Sold to the highest bidder, this prime city block has gone for $66 million. Once London Circuit has been raised for light rail, a new city precinct will in turn rise up.
The major transformation that is going to occur is that the human population will significantly outnumber the rabbit population in this part of the CBD.
The Capital Property Group was the successful bidder, with the sale conducted via a government tender process. The 19,000 square metre block sits between Vernon Circle, Edinburgh Avenue, London Circuit and Commonwealth Avenue. A high-end hotel, office building and 4 residential buildings are planned. In all, 502 apartments, with 76 or 15% of those mandated as affordable housing. Rentals at 75% of the market rate.
We are favouring long-term build-to-rent. Because that ensures that the product is always available for those who need it most.
Capital Property Group has several projects in the city and suburbs alike and is owned by prominent Canberra family, the Snows.
Our family and Dad, we've always had a massive interest in the CBD of Canberra. It's not about a personal legacy, it's about a legacy that helps build our city.
The government says the sale will help to offset the cost of Light Rail Stage 2A and future residents will provide further income.
The site will be generating tens of millions of dollars of revenue annually through the rate system. Project that out over the course of this century and more than $1 billion of revenue will be generated on that site.
The project will require approval from the National Capital Authority and multiple territory agencies. The precinct is expected to be completed within a decade.
In Sydney, there's been a breakthrough in the investigation into an anti-Semitic vandalism attack in Woolhara. A woman was charged over her alleged involvement, while Australian communities are welcoming the ceasefire in the Middle East. Jewish leaders are concerned it won't lead to peace at home. The federal opposition is promising tougher sentencing if it wins the next election.
Celebrations break out in Western Sydney as the bombing in Gaza comes to a temporary end. Palestinian supporters line the streets in a show of relief after the peace deal between Israel and Hamas is confirmed. before Australian Jewish leaders in Bondi welcomed the release of 3 Israeli hostages and the ceasefire, but expressed concerns it won't end troubles at home. There's been a rise in anti-Semitic attacks in Australia since the war in Gaza started. The opposition leader is vowing to crack down on the problem if elected.
Anti-Semitism in every form is a national scourge.
He's promised to push ahead with mandatory sentencing for perpetrators. Under the plan, Australians who display prohibited hate symbols would spend at least 12 months behind bars, and the minimum sentence for Commonwealth terror offences would increase to 6 years. Anthony Albanese says his government has already taken action, including passing the laws that ban Nazi and terror symbols and helping to boost security at Jewish sites around the country.
We'll continue to take strong action under the laws.
Individuals in New South Wales get sent to prison for long periods of time, even though they're not part of a mandatory sentencing guideline.
Today, New South Wales police have arrested and charged a 34-year-old woman over her alleged involvement in a vandalism attack in Wallara last month, in which buildings and vehicles were damaged.
We can't arrest our way out of this situation, but it does take a whole community to come together.
The New South Wales mental health system is about to be stretched to the limit, with close to 200 public hospital psychiatrists leaving their roles. To try to prevent the mass exodus, the government's offering them a special 10% allowance, but it's also seeking an urgent hearing in the Industrial Relations Commission.
This is the reality for some of the state's mental health patients. Gordon Stewart spent 2 nights on the floor of the emergency department in Coffs Harbour after attempting to take his own life.
With no buzzer, no monitors, so it was quite distressing to actually find my 72-year-old father laying on the floor.
Doctors say the mental health system's in a catastrophic decline, with nearly a third of psychiatrists' positions unfilled. Dr Catherine Drew is among about 200 who are now quitting in protest.
Our patients are not receiving the care that we believe would be appropriate.
To recruit new staff and stop existing specialists going interstate, psychiatrists want a 25% single-year pay rise. The government's offering just 10.5% over 3. But it's also offering all staff psychiatrists a 10% onerous duties allowance, and it's seeking urgent arbitration in the Industrial Relations Commission.
Giving a commitment that the finding of that independent umpire the government will accept. That, I think, is a very reasonable path forward that is clear.
The government plans to rely on casual or locum doctors to fill the gaps left by mass resignations, paying them $3,000 per day to avoid meeting the demands of existing staff.
We are incredibly concerned that this government is choosing to waste so much public money and throw patients, doctors and the entire mental health system under the bus simply to save face.
The government's been contacting the more than 200 psychiatrists who've tendered their resignations, asking them to reconsider. It says some have changed their minds, others have delayed their decisions, but it's refusing to provide the numbers. Doctors say the effect of the resignations may not be noticed for some days, but they'll be felt across the public hospital system.
You're watching TV1 News. We'll have sports with Terry after the break. Stay tuned.
This is a second day progress update for the works that has been carried out. We started 12 minutes shutting the plant, emptied the clarifier, exposed all the infrastructure, surface, internal, that needs to be repaired, did an inspection assessment, then handed over to the contractor with the engineer. Currently they're uplifting the rake structure, aligning it properly, and also they've removed the gearbox and the motor and the upper layer of the mechanical components of the faulty gearbox, and now they're in the process of removing the faulty gear. At the rate we are going, we expect to complete it by the end of January. Just appeal to the customers to bear with us. The services are still flowing, but not to the full extent because of the repair works to the faulty clarifier. But we're doing our best to ration water so everybody in the city gets some water during this time. And hopefully the work will be completed soon and we'll restore full service.
The blockbuster hunt begins this January with Tom Clancy's greatest movie hits.
The Red October. And you identify them. I will make it my mission in life. Stand down! Incoming!
In the face of danger,
I am the president. How dare you, sir?
heroes are born.
If you shut me out, 25 million other families will be dead.
This January, enter the world of Tom Clancy every Saturday on Hits Movies.
He's being charged with quadruple homicide.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you are about to give, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Defendants are never forced to take the stand. It's a huge gamble. At stake, freedom or even their lives.
I've explained this to you 3 or 4 times now.
He was twitching. I think he was starting to get scared. We have a verdict.
Taking the stand.
Any man that cannot take care of his family is not fit to be a husband.
This is just temporal. Things will fall back to normal, then we'll go back to the city.
How will you change the situation? Just look at what you've reduced me to.
You're a failure! Useless man. Wallowing in self-pity. If I were you, I would turn my life around and make sure that my wife regrets leaving me.
I can't believe that a simple vacation has led to me meeting the love of my life.
I get to live out my Italian romance dream.
I want to give this relationship a chance. I don't know where our future is going from here.
The prenup is something that I will not budge on.
Can I trust him? Did you had sex with another woman?
I don't remember.
90 Day Fiancé Love in Paradise, Wednesday 7:30 on TLC.
Hello again. As part of the government's commitment to fostering national pride and enhancing PNG's presence on the global sporting stage, a targeted tax exemption has been introduced. This will support the establishment of a national rugby league team in Papua New Guinea. Under this measure, all players, both local and international, as well as international staff associated with the team, will be exempt from income tax, provided they are tax residents in PNG and do not hold tax residency in other jurisdictions. The initiative is a strategic move to attract world-class talent, build a competitive team, and lay the foundation for PNG's success in the NRL. Woonamomi tribesmen have kicked off the first leg of the Egmark 9 series on a winning note after defeating a more fancied Page Park Cowboys. In a thrilling 10-8 grand final showdown played at the newly built Gela Gela Sports Facility on Saturday. Tribesmen also collected 5,000 kina cash, while runners-up Cowboys settled for 2,500. Rugby League 7 fans can look forward to some mouth-watering matchup at the World Round of the HSBC SVNS 2025 in Perth from 24 to 26 January, following last week's pool draw at HFB Park. Following last year's success, this year's SVNS Festival promises an action-packed weekend like no other. Attendees can enjoy epic Rugby League 7 matches featuring the world's best 12 men's and women's teams, with Olympic stars gracing the HBF Park.
Olympic gold medalists against the Olympic bronze medalist France and South Africa. Donovan
After
Don.
two action-packed tournaments in Dubai and Cape Town kicked off the HSBC SVNS 2025 campaign in December, it is all to play for, with 4 different teams claiming the titles to date. Olympic champions New Zealand lead the women's standing following victory in Cape Town, while Australia's women's got off to a flying start with gold in Dubai, featuring some of the biggest stars in world rugby, including the newly crowned World Rugby Sevens Player of the Year, Madison Levi, who scored a record-breaking 15 tries in a single tournament in Dubai. Fiji led the men's standings and were back to their thrilling best, taking gold in Dubai, while South Africa thrilled their fans with a victory on home soil in Cape Town. In a landmark first, the women's final will be the last showpiece match of the tournament, taking center stage on Sunday evening in Perth. World Rugby Sevens General Manager Sam Pinda said the HSBC SVNS Perth pool draw has delivered some mouth-watering matchups and kicks off an exciting year for Rugby Sevens in Perth, set to deliver another festival of world-class sevens, music and entertainment in a festival atmosphere at HBF Park. HSBC SVNS Perth Ambassador Sarah Naigama, Matt Hodgson, and Australia's Wallaroos captain Michaela Leonard gathered at HBF Park to draw the pools for the highly anticipated event last Thursday. Hosts Australia were drawn in men's Pool A together with reigning SVNS League winners Argentina, Cape Town champion South Africa, and the USA. Olympic champions France in Pool B alongside Spain, Great Britain, and Ireland in an all-European affair. Fiji and New Zealand will go into battle in Pool C along with newly promoted Kenya and Uruguay. Women's Olympic champions New Zealand will face Japan, Ireland, and Brazil in Pool A. Olympic silver and bronze medalists Canada and the USA, respectively, are in Pool B together with Great Britain and Fiji. Hosts and HSBC SVNS 2024 champions Australia are in Pool C with France, China, and Spain.
Australian bodies in motion, way too many numbers. Great strike back.
Sports. Back to you, Mary.
Thanks, Terry. That ends this edition of TV1 News. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
Bye.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.
WAN.